All right. Hello there, everyone. This is Community Insights, Episode 1. And I'm here with Nara, the owner of Coffee Talk Cafe in Towson, Maryland. And the idea behind this conversation and many more that I look to have are to understand all the different communities that are out there, how they are all interconnected, and, get a better understanding of what community means to people. And then from these conversations, I'm hoping other people will take away something, maybe a new understanding of what community means to them and seeing it from other people's perspectives. So, Nara, thank you for joining. And my first question to you is, what does community mean to you?
Community for me is it's a unity with a common interest or helping each other in the community. It's kind of connection and interaction with different people, people that we know or people we still need to know. So that's what I think community is.
So you're not from the U.S.
No.
Originally. So growing up, you're from Nepal.
Yes.
And you've actually been to a few. Where else besides Nepal before you got here?
I've been about 30 nations, but I spent more time for my study in Singapore.
Okay.
And that's where I stayed a couple of years. But during my other traveling and work purpose, I've been to Europe and in East Asia, South Asia. Yeah.
So you've seen a lot of different communities.
Yes.
And I guess growing up, what was the community like you grew up in?
Well, in Nepal, it's more. Community is a lot about emotional bondings in Nepal, so it's more connection and more look out for each other, and when I travel, I always miss that part most of the country. But in the United States, it's where we are right now in Towson. It's pretty good, and it's a great community here.
Yeah, so that brings us to where you are today in Towson, running a coffee shop. First, how did you get involved in the coffee shop business? Where did this come about?
Yeah, so the first, when I start traveling abroad, mostly I always get very attracted in airports where we drink coffee, waiting for flights or transits and all. So, and then I start dreaming about it. I feel like it's a lot of, it's a open-minded people junction where they meet up, have a cup of coffee, and it feels like nobody's a stranger in coffee shop when you step in. Mm-hmm. Everybody is so friendly, and it's also kind of idea house when you are having a cup of coffee in any of the coffee shop. You feel like you are in good mood. You have lots of energy, and that keeps me. And then I start making a goal, like, okay, one day I would start my own coffee shop. So that was the idea, how I think of.
Yeah, because you definitely have taken that positive energy, brought it to your coffee shop here. Everybody walks in here, and everybody's always happy to see you. Put a smile on people's faces, and you're always in a great mood.
Yes.
Is there like a coffee community as far as like other business owners or coffee aficionados, as they call them, that you are in contact with to, I guess, enhance your ability and skills in the coffee game?
Yeah, I think it's basically the hospitality industry is all about service, and as you said, I mean, every customer when they come in and when they leave the store, we want to make sure they smile, and it's smiling is not an easy job. It takes a lot of energy, but when they come for coffee, it's also. It's a coffee. It's a direct thing that we represent. But beside that, as we say, we serve a positive karma on the side, which is, which makes people, and interaction, definitely when we are brewing coffee, we interact, and that's how it is more connected, and everybody would try to make them very memorable experience when they leave the coffee shop.
So where did you develop these values to treat other people with kindness, respect, and making sure that when they leave, they're happy and, you did your best to serve them well? Where did this all develop from?
Yeah, I think this is the more we grow, our age will teach us, and then definitely traveling is one of the best way that I have learned. And also, I'm very social person. So when meeting different people, it opens our eyes that what what effort we can do to make a place better, and then all these things. So I just learn. And then another thing is, coming from Nepal, we always think a karma thing, meaning whatever we do in action today, it definitely will come back to us in different way, maybe in our generation or in next generation. So that keeps me always in very disciplined thing that, hey, be kind, be wise, be good to everyone. And that makes, because it's in our eyes how we see things. So if we see things better and we treat in a better way, and then it will come back the same better way. And that also impacts the many lives and community, neighborhood, families and all.
And I've seen you've mentioned karma a few times here, so that's definitely a big part in how you think about things. I know there's an Americanized version of karma. What is I guess if you were to describe karma, what does it mean to you, and how would you, express it to other people?
Karma, simply to understand, is our action. So, so when we do our action, we will do it carefully, meaning not to harm anyone, or also try to be respectful for other side as well. Most of the time, we will think of our interest or our favor, but we miss the other side part. So when that action is done from other side, considering that what other person may think, or it's more of the positive energy as well. It's more optimistic thing. I think karma is understood like throwing ball on the wall. How you do it will bounce back as well. And then other side, as I think, is like, let's say I do a good karma and I may not get that result in my lifetime, but definitely my kids may get the better result. So that way you will always be in an optimistic circle, because it's not instant thing like, okay, I did yesterday a great job, I helped somebody, but today I'm in trouble. It's not that instant thing,
You're no longer expecting to receive something for the goodwill you're putting out there. It kind of just comes back naturally.
Yes.
And also, too, you're appreciating more life and everything, that the good things that people do for you. But yeah, it's basically, it's funny though, I think about this all the time, where we will do a good act of kindness or something along, say we open a door for somebody, or they don't say thank you back to you.
Yep.
So you're getting away from the original point of just doing the good act, because you're expecting something in return.
Right.
Where really you should just be, that should be your standards as who you want to be as a person, if you're going to try to think and act that way. And not expect somebody to, because the other thing is, you have no idea what's going on with their life now.
Yes, exactly.
That's definitely a big thing we always talk about is, mental health, and other people in the community just, they have a rough time going on right now. I mean, we're definitely in interesting times right now with the economy, and, how do you continue to keep yourself motivated and positive with does the community support you pretty well with
Yes.
everything going on today?
Yes, we are very lucky and we are blessed to overcome all those tough years during COVID and during the startup. Every business, first or second year, they were very tough years. It's not just only making dollars or making revenues, but also existence. I mean, how much we know about community at the startup time. So it took us few years to learn about community, and then now we're in 7th year. And so far we are very happy, and most of the consumers and customers from community, they love to shop local, support small businesses, and that means a lot to a store like ours.
Mm-hmm. The one thing that always fascinated me that I just learned about you is that you've been to 30 different countries. Do you think a piece of those different communities has, evolved your overall view of community and shaped how you treat other people, just being associated with them for a period of time?
Yes, when I want to evaluate community, it is like a mirror or reflection of how the lifestyle is practiced in certain places.
Yeah.
Like you go Europe, it's definitely maybe certain different communities, different things. You go East Asia or South Asia or Africa. So when I travel, when I see different communities, their bottom core value is the same, harmony, emotional
Mm-hmm.
bonding, helping each other. But the way they practice, the way they do things might be different than what other community does. So overall, my view or perception to community is the same. We have it's probably common space for unity or uniting together.
Mm-hmm. Curious, what place that you visited was the most unique and interesting that you found that you wish you could go back to and visit again?
Yeah, I have few places. The first one, I still prefer a very stronger community in Nepal. That's what I have still been missing.
Mm-hmm.
There were a few very interesting and funny times, like, you go out from home and you stand somewhere waiting for bus or cab, and you find probably 20 people in that 10 minutes period of time that everybody there. So they say, hey, how are you? Everything good and all.
Completely different from
yeah,
here.
so here is
here
like
you don't even say hi.
No, I mean it's different, but I think so here same thing. Like when I wait for Uber or something, I just have to spend my all time on my tablet or phone, because I hardly see any people that I know, or even we have eye contact to any people. It's just like not much of the connection. It could be just the lifestyle that the country practices.
I was going to say, why do you think it is that though? Because it's still today. I feel like, it used to be that way in the U.S. where everybody knew their neighbor, and it was, you would have your cookouts during the summer, and everybody got together. And it seems like in Nepal and other areas that still is the case today. Yeah. Do you have any insight on why you think that's the case? Because you can see the difference.
Yes, since I'm just in the United States for about 7 years, I'm not maybe very much educated to find the whole thing. But so far I have observed is it may be the busy lifestyle that everybody has things to do, and we do not have that laid-back lifestyle here. In a household, everybody is engaged, everybody has work, but those communities where we see, like in Nepal or other places, is one or two person work to support entire family.
Yeah.
And they can still make a happy life.
Cost of living is a little...
Cost of living. And also, I think it's an expectation, or the aim or the goal of life might be different. because a lot of time we look for, the value, the dollar, materialistic,
consumerism,
right? Yes.
where basically,
so when we look at is we are more on always in a race, like, okay, how big house we gonna build,
compete with other people,
yes,
and basically see, oh, my neighbor got this, so I have to get bigger,
so,
better,
and I think it's overall is the lifestyle and the practice, as we talk about neighbor. You see, the next neighbor will determine the value of the house, the value of the school, the value of the area. I mean, back home in Nepal, that's not in our practice. Anybody is welcome, and it's more united. But here it's different.
Well, it sounds like from that, like, more of the things we think about are denominated by money, where, like, how much does it cost and how much, it's more about thinking about that on the back end all the time, where it seems like in Nepal and other countries like that, it's more about how emotional,
the
value in that way. I mean, it's something I certainly had to, start having a different way of thinking about things, because I certainly fell into that trap. It's definitely something that, is seen in all of our media and everything.
Right. Yeah.
So it's very hard. I'm sure you gotten drawn into it,
coming
over here.
Yeah, it is. I mean, so that's the difference.
Because there's a ton of other coffee shops around here.
Yes,
I mean, you've got competition everywhere.
Yep.
But how do you see them as competition, or do you see it as a community of overall, different places of business? What is it to you when you see other coffee shops coming up?
Yeah, I feel happy actually. More coffee shops, it will create a fair competition. So fair competition, meaning, who can serve customer a better way, who can do faster service, who can do a quality product. So that competition, I like it. So that means it does not challenge me having more coffee shop. But the other side, what happens is if somebody has enough investments or enough capital and they drop all the way price and they do unfair competition, or they try to control the market with different kind of marketing tools, or some kind of campaigns where small businesses cannot make that one. Yes. Yeah. So that's the hard challenge part. But I love competition, and whatever new coffee shop comes, I'll not miss to go there, visit, and learn things, take a cup of coffee and all. And that's I think this is good. I mean, and coffee shop is not going anytime, anywhere. Because
I'd rather see more coffee shops and bars pop up.
Yep.
I mean, I used to frequent the bars all the time, and that didn't work out well for me at the time. I'm glad now I frequent coffee shops. Definitely have a lot more energy. Sometimes a little too much. But I definitely appreciate all the coffee shops. Definitely, it's a great place to meet people too.
Yep.
It's just something that instead of going to the office or something like that, you're out and about. I think I saw somebody actually post on social media recently where they showed a coffee shop over in like Europe, and like they have all the tables and everything outside. And then they showed a coffee shop in the U.S. where, some of these big name ones where they had them with the drive-thrus where nobody was talking, they just basically drive-through. But that's why I like these local coffee shops such as yourself, where you come in, you can sit down. I always see people in here, meeting with friends, or, you even got high school kids coming in here, all different ages, all different backgrounds. So it definitely feels like a more diverse setting here, and then people all getting along and everything. What's your, I guess, future ambitions and, and involving the community? Like, what ideas do you have moving forward?
Definitely, we're trying to increase the service level. I mean, every day is a learning in a coffee shop. So from this year, we're targeting to grow, either, expanding a space or having another store in future. And also the community wise, it's it's a lot of good connection. It's every customer gets a personal touch service. So that's our future plan is to keep that maintained.
People always compliment you on your memory.
Yes.
Because you definitely, because you know what it is, they usually say memory is attached to emotion, and you certainly, use that emotion to remember people, and they certainly appreciate it.
And very, the word of mouth, that is our very strong, thing to stay in business. And that has somewhere I read about 88% of consumers believe on the recommendation or referral from friends and families than the television or radio. So that word of mouth is a very good thing for us, and people talk about their experience. And when somebody comes in, we see their face, a very new face, but they would say, hey, somebody send us here or talk about you, and are you Mr. Nara or are you Miss Shirley? And then just you guys have good ice cream, coffees, and also. So again, I always tell, our coffee may not be the best coffee. Any product can be better somewhere, but why we are still here is every store, every coffee shop has a unique
experience.
Thing. Yes. So our probably a service we try to do as fast as we can. We try to make sure every customer is interacting either maybe 5 seconds, 10 seconds, so nobody is missed. And we also welcome everyone in the store. And they will leave the store with a biggest smile. So that means they will be back again. So that also gives us a very big satisfaction of working hard, working long hours every day, but we never feel tired because we are fulfilled. And this is also my passion of serving people, through coffee, through hospitality. So that's it is very great experience because in the community, whenever we walk, we do not carry what we have, as we talked previously, material things. We do not carry anything. We just carry our thoughts, and we walk into. So that community, we are actually reflecting our community. So when somebody comes in as a new tourist or a visitor in Towson, they would start saying, oh, Towson looks a very nice community. Then I would ask them, how did you, oh, it's a nice little shops around, people are nice, walking with dogs, kids, and they're cheering up. It's pretty beautiful. So you see, this is how a community is built in Towson, and I hope every other community where we need to be better we can be like an example in others too.
So you talked about future vision expansion. I'm curious to know, where would you expand if you opened another shop?
We would love a place where a lot of where diverse is appreciated, meaning like people from different backgrounds. It could be Baltimore downtown, somewhere in Hampton, or Fells Point, or somewhere where.
So you want to go? You would like to be in the city?
Whenever I travel, I feel like I would have a coffee shop
there.
There's a lot
of energy down there. Yeah.
So it's that's our future plan, because coffee always it's as I said, nobody is a stranger in a coffee shop. So that area, that diverse, different age group, different background, those kind of any places, it could be there, or it could maybe we have to research a few other places.
Yeah, I'm just curious off the top of your head, because I'm always interested to know what the vision is and the goals and all that. Well, the other thing that you also do is you have your social media channels, and with your daughter, you go around to a lot of community events and everything. How did that come about?
Yes, the first thing we started that is during COVID. We when there's no school, and I really think about kids, not only my kids but that generation kids. And it is a lot of time kids start to put their days into screen, like tablets, phones, or television. And then we start, I start worrying, like, how do they interact, where we can build the skill to communicate with people in different community.
Mhm.
Let's say these kids travel in high school or travel during their college for projects or for anything. How do they talk if they just spend a lot of time
And they're only
just
texting, direct messaging,
yes.
not actually picking up the phone and
Right.
calling each
So
other.
so that's where, and then I start, okay, let me start what I can do in my family, so we talk and say, hey, wherever we go, let's try to get some kind of clips, videos, or anything. And that will be our memory in future as well. When kids grow, they will see. And as well as when we share to public or any community, they would also probably, take some kind of benefit or enjoy or even entertaining thing.
Well, they're also seeing there's more than just being in front of their screen. Like, there's things to do out there.
Yes.
Getting back in touch with nature.
Yes, yes,
and with our communities.
Right.
Of actually, saying hi to our neighbors.
Yeah. Yep. So
that's definitely interesting, and it's very, you're setting an example basically, and you're definitely. And also, it allows you to spend time with your daughter in a meaningful way.
Yes, that's so now it become like a culture every week. Or if we miss something in a week, then my daughter Kara will say, "Daddy, we didn't do video." So it become like a habit now, or a culture that. So
it's like a family tradition.
Yes.
Almost. Yeah.
Now they are more curious, like where we are doing, where we go into any farmers market or any nature places or anywhere, any events, the community.
So they're
events.
now involved, wanting to find those type of things.
Yes.
Yeah, it's interesting with kids. I mean, that's where it all starts. I feel like too. You have to help them out and teach them. And it seems like you've been showing the way now. They're taking the reins.
Yes, yeah. And then other thing I also found, how the community looks after 20 years is I'm watching my daughter. So she is representing, because it's all about behavior, it's all about the health, physical and mental health. If every parents put a lot of effort to, raise kids in that way, I think 20 years later, it's going to be so beautiful community everywhere you walk, because this is our investment. This is our future pillars, so to make that stronger, we need to do right now.
Yeah, I mean, that gets me back to a thought I recently had about like legacy. A lot of people think of legacy and like how many businesses they owned and like all that, but like at the end of the day, that's not really showing who you were as a person. People are going to remember how you treated them.
Exactly.
And I think that's the legacy that I am starting to think for myself of like what I value, what my character's like, because then I want my kids to see that. So hopefully they develop their own thoughts and ideas around what type of legacy they want. And not just treating other people well. Because I always think about, imagine if we all worked together and like we weren't competing with each other, how much more we would have accomplished as a civilization. The things like we could have created already, and we wouldn't have a lot of the issues that are ongoing today. It seems like we're very divisive, and we're not as open-minded to see a different perspective on things.
Yeah, that's really a challenging thing, because every human is such a unique and potential body, but we forget about our own potential, and we try to see how other become succeed, how I can do that, but we can do our own thing. We have such a big potential, but there should be some way to bring that potential outside and then to set an example to others and all. So competition is good, but it's not just
healthy sometimes when you're doing it to try to impress other people and not doing it for more of a service mindset. If you're just trying to do things to, again, gain materials just to show off. I mean, because then you're actually just valuing other people's opinion. And, but this is stuff I did for myself. That's why I think about it. And, you lack self-worth when, you start going down that way, traveling that path. But once you start doing things for other people, you start getting more enjoyment and appreciation.
Absolutely, yeah.
And it's a interesting world we're living in today.
It is. It is really interesting. I mean, and we're doing our part. And it's sometimes the trends keep changing. The human trends, every generation keep changing, and our way of thinking also will change. So it is hard to think what is good and bad to do.
Mm-hmm.
So
I guess that will definitely wrap us up here. I think we covered a lot of different things.
Yeah, we did.
And certainly you have a very broad understanding of communities being, a part of so many different ones, experiencing so many different ones. I definitely appreciate your time and value your insight. I hope everybody was able to, see something maybe a little differently or take something away from this. And again, if you're in Towson, definitely recommend stopping in to Coffee Talk Cafe. Nara will certainly treat you with all the kindness in the world. And then become a frequent customer so he'll remember your order. And, but any last words?
I think we covered mostly, and again, I'm so glad that I traveled 7,700 some miles from Nepal to United States, and every morning I feel so good to wake up, make a good cup of coffee, and interact with people. So I'm here, and always with your cup of coffee, there's free side of karma comes with it.
I like that. And and remember to give him a follow on social media, Facebook and Instagram.
Yes.
He's posting every day, always pointing out good karma.
Yeah, definitely.
And what for the YouTube channel with your daughter? What is it called?
It is just 2 minutes.
Just 2 minutes.
Yes, we start making short videos since everybody's so busy, and also we make all the videos just 2 minutes. That's a channel, just 2 minutes.
Yeah, sometimes that's all you need, right?
Yeah, just 2 minutes.
All right, thanks everyone. Have a good one. Take care.
Alrighty, thank you.